here.
But yeah, look like we're on our way and oh boy.
Oh boy,
Oh
password
boy.
screen. Password screen. Okay. Well, password there.
Yeah. Now one of the matters starts.
Well, I think he doesn't want to reset, so we can just continue.
Look like we got ourselves another Buster Week walls, so that's another issue that's completely mitigated. Don't have to dig for wall weaknesses. But looks like they're starting off at the same stages. Of course, Quickman and Flashman are probably the usual stages that we start off with because of at least one easy E-Tank in the case of Quickman stage, also an extra life. So these two are usually easy stages for, at least for safety measures.
Exactly. You always want to start your run on a good note. And one other thing, I've kind of saw that they didn't change their routes. That means they played this route a lot. And seems that Squid loves Flash first, and MadMega loves quick lasers.
Really not much of a difference in starting points. The only reason that it could be majorly different is the enemies that could be in those stages. Meanwhile, we got an interesting Woodman in Flash Room. One of the random attributes that Woodman has is that he's actually able to false start his leaf shield, in which I usually call accelerated leaf shields. So that's an interesting little thing that Squidman had to come across.
Yeah, it's really tough, and as you can see, it's tough that a good runner like Squid is forced to use an E-Tank. It's tough to kind of dodge these leaves, let's say, and MadMega is finding quick, which is actually really quick, and doing athletic jumps, but it seems that he's weak to Buster, so no issues for him. On the note of Wood, that shield is dodgeable, but you need to do pulse buffers, which makes the fight really slow, so the runners just prefer to take a couple of damage boosts and dispose of Wood fast as possible.
It looks like we find ourselves item 3 in Quickman stage, so that's one item that's out of the way. We still got 2 more that are possible in the remaining 6 stages, as we know that Flashman doesn't have a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really good getting item 2 first on the first of your stages, because you have an easy stage bubble, you can utilize it there. You have air, you can utilize it there. You have wood, you can utilize it there. It's so many, and heat even. There are so many places that can utilize that item too. It's always good to not have it locked.
So yeah, we got ourselves a role reversal yet again with MadMega doing Flash and Quickman and Squidman. Quickman and Squidman. You know, I'm moving on. We're gonna ignore that statement.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I haven't seen did MadMega test the walls, but I'm gonna assume he did. But I haven't saw if he tested the walls for Buster weakness. Anyway, we'll know in a second. Meanwhile, Squid is entering his Quickman refight, which is quick. I'm not gonna say it, but I wanna.
Yeah, we do still gotta note that Quickman is in his vanilla room.
Yeah. Sometimes, even though it's randomizer, the bosses are in their vanilla rooms.
And MadMega's taking himself quite a beating from Woodman. I hope he decides to use the E-Tank.
Oh, come on. Even Squid used his E-Tank. Just use your E-Tank. Come on, don't do this. Oh well. He got over it quickly, if you can see, so he's gonna fight it again, even if he doesn't want to. Meanwhile, Squid is just entering now with a song that I love so much.
MadMega just taking a flat-out beating in the Woodman fight. He had, I think he might have forgotten that he had an E-Tank. He's looking at his inventory right now. So we're gonna see if he actually decides to use that E-Tank.
I think he's overprotective at this point. It's just the start of the run. You have potentially so many E-Tanks to grab, so this is just overprotection. I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
he's able to not be able to use it this time around, so sure. But anyway, Squidman is through the first half of Woodman stage, on his way to his second half, passing the checkpoint. So right now we're about to see what enemy Squidman is about to face, since he's not going to be able to skip the stage. And right now we got Joes. Are we full Joes? Right now we see Sniper Joes. We got the Vanish in position.
Ooh. And a really sad thing comes in there. Oh my, no, come on. This is insane. Well, Randomizer is punishing, boys. These things happen, especially if you choose air third. It's a big gamble. Well, now Squid is farming for some health. I think he's having some issues, so yep, just get this health if he can. Oh, he gave up. So let's continue.
See, MadMegaX finally got his aerial leg stable in traversing the first part of air, but not without some opposition. Meanwhile, Squidman is itching his way ever so closely to the wood door. So we're about to see what's in Woodman's boss room.
Oh, meanwhile, MadMega just finished his first screen, and now we see a strange colored bubble, which jumps a lot. Okay, Bubble, stay put. Oh, he was weak.
MadMega is dealing with our M544, our lovable Metroids in the area, which one of the more annoying enemies in this stage personally. I find myself being really hesitant whenever I see those enemies in air, especially when you don't know when they're gonna come in amongst the clouds. And with too many on screen, they cause a lot of lag if you take a hit. So possible knockback into the spikes is actually really plausible, but it wasn't the case as he goes through the air door.
Exactly, and the clouds just mess up a lot of players. And meanwhile, we got Metal, and guess he's one of the weaker bosses. And I think Mega doesn't wanna get close and personal with Metal. He just prefers to fight him from afar. On that positive note, we may now see Squid completes his bubble zip, whatever. It's pulse buffers, a couple of pulse buffers. Let's see if he completes it.
That's good.
Good job.
Looks like MadMega's about to follow suit, and he's gonna go to Bubble as well. And I think I just noticed something. It didn't get to see the attribute for Leaf Shield, but looks like the Leaf Shield is actually, it's reversed horizontally. One of the attributes of the Leaf Shield in the Randomizer is that they're able to fire in reverse directions. We know that it goes up. We know that it goes in opposite directions horizontally. We do not know yet if it's the same vertically. It could be vanilla vertically, but it can also be reverse vertically as well, so we don't know that just yet.
That's perfectly correct, and giving those facts, sometimes Leaf Shield can be a real pain to use in some situations that you really need it. But we got Crash here. Let's hope everything goes fine, because this is a really high jumping and spamming flash. Oh, he's doing fine for now. Couple more. Okay.
Need to ease it up.
Okay. Wait.
Ooh, that was kind of scary. Honestly, I'm kind of confused. These seeds are usually vetted to eliminate Crashman from this stage because of the potential for actual dangerous soft lock. And I remember vetting this, so I'm kind of confused why I forgot about this.
Oh, it's not necessary to remove Crash. It's or any particular boss. It's just if you find those glitches, sometimes it appears and sometimes it doesn't. I find spammable crash, if you know what I mean. The one that spams non-stop, giving the glitch a lot. Anyway, let's continue on a good note that we didn't get a soft lock. Squidman's full of Joes and full of mechs Heatman.
Oh man, I was in Squid streams before doing practice races. He had a similar seat just like this. So, as much I would say that Squid might be prepared for this, I'm pretty sure it's still something he didn't want to deal with. As you can see, he took quite a beating.
No, you're never prepared for the Joe army. The Joe army just have no boundaries. Meanwhile, MadMega also dealing fairly quickly with that crash, now goes to Metal for his dose of E-tanks, and let's see how he does with that. I'm gonna assume he doesn't have item 1 and new items at all, because he's not even stopping for a zip, just taking it really slow and cautiously. Okay.
Kinda took a little bit of a gamble taking that particular damage boost, but looks like we got Squidman being forced to do Yoku blocks as he wasn't able to get item 2 for the stage yet. So we're gonna hit. So it doesn't matter. Right now Squidman is doing just fine.
Exactly, he did them like a true veteran Mega Man 2 player without even stopping. And hell, you can see on MadMega's screen how hard it is to use Leaf Shield in such situations as a reverse conveyor belt. It's just almost impossible. So he switches up to Buster, that's logical, and traverses to the rest of the screen. I think he's fishing for some help also.
It looked like we got a pretty easiest Flashman, pretty high jumping, makes him a fairly easy target, though he's a little more durable to Buster this time around, but it really didn't matter. He just jumps around like a moron and just makes himself easy pickings for Squidman.
Exactly. Those 2 hits per cycle are always free, and I think he flashed only once, so good boy Flash.
But he's rewarded with the item 1, so looks like he's going straight to Crashman to see if he can utilize it in a zippable fashion.
Meanwhile, in Metal, we got Heat. Oh, he's still not testing item 1 on the first screen. That means he wanted to be zippable, or he's gonna skip the task, that's it. Okay, this is a very good item. Not very good, but still good to zip.
It's decently long lasting. The amount that it fades out is actually pretty random as well, so the link's still pretty good. Meanwhile, MadMega's in a dangerous position.
Please just okay. One more. No! Oh God, not in that direction. Okay, well,
I
that
think
never.
It's the rapid movement of Heat, our rapid fire movement that tripped MadMega up. Because when he moves that fast, he actually moves a little further than you would normally expect if he was to move in vanilla with vanilla dashes. So in other words, he probably just underestimated how far Heatman was gonna go and just ended up landing on him. Meanwhile, Squidman is doing the crash climb with workable enemies to actually allow for it.
Oh, I feel for MadMega. Sonic Heat, as I like to call him, this is Super Sonic Heat, he is just super obnoxious on this conveyor belt. And meanwhile, Squid actually has this item 3 to utilize these bonus climbings. Save a couple of your seconds here and there. Whatever you can save on a randomizer, you'll save it, right? So, yeah. Okay, and a yellow air.
And he looks like he's pretty susceptible to Buster. Yep, pretty susceptible to Buster. So, for those that are wondering why we keep talking about all this Buster weakness stuff, just like in Vanilla, there are 4 enemies that are usually susceptible to Buster. But in this game, those 4 Robot Masters are randomized. So, Airman just wound up being one of the 4 that happen to be specifically weak to Buster in this regard.
And on that note, Wily bosses can also be weak to Buster, to some extent. That's also random, because Wily bosses have a couple of weaknesses, so Buster can be a main or a secondary weakness, even third weakness for some bosses. So Buster is a pretty big deal for the runners because they can save that ammo or kind of skip those switches and fishes that they need to search for weapons.
MadMega's now finding out there is the Phoenix Inquisition right in front of his face, trying to use the metal but just can't seem to place his... Oh, he just winds up using Flash to just ignore the problem completely, but he's taking quite a beating because of it though. You can't attack, you can't use any weapons that attack with Flash.
Okay, well, seems fine. It took a bit of damage, but at least he's through. He has a couple of E-tanks to patch the situation. Oh, he's gonna farm. That works too.
Probably a smart decision considering how much damage he took trying to just brute force his way over the fans.
Meanwhile, I guess Squid got item 2 from Clash, I think. So he's gonna utilize this to skip a big section of metal. And even the bird helps him out, despawning that crusher above his head. This is so good.
But yeah, but we also still gotta consider that MadMega has not done Crash yet. While they're still seeing, MadMega still has a few longer stages to deal with. Also, actually, this looks like his Squidman's 7th Robot Master, so he's going to be on his 8th after this. So, MadMega, with some of his unfortunate issues, past worse situations notwithstanding, unfortunately trailing a little farther behind in comparison to the first race.
Yeah, and exactly as we know, Air is not horribly long stage. So I think Squid is pretty far ahead right now. It's just that MadMega had a couple of early deaths here and there. I think that Woodman got to him. And now the Joe army is just relentless. The lag also, but the Joe army mainly. Wow!
Look like MadMega forced... Yeah, he forced the deaths to get the game over. So he forced the game over on purpose, so he probably immediately retries the stage. Meanwhile, Airman, the final Robot Master stage for Squidman, and he's probably just gonna try to just go straight at it. Looks like he has item 2 now, so he's probably gonna utilize it in this stage as well, which is pretty cool. Since item 2 is the vanilla stage where you get air, you know, let me restart that. Air is the vanilla stage, you get item 2.
Exactly.
You get situations like this where you can just use item 2 in a stage that you probably would like to have it for.
That's correct. That's gonna skip a bit of the hard section of Air. The first screen of Air is always really tough. Most of the time is really tough. So, and MadMega actually, this seed also gave them the fully charged heat. As this is a randomizer, heat can be charging slowly, really fast, or it can be fully charged also. So giving them the fully charged heat means not only instant shot, but bonus damage as well. So that's really good for the runners, and that's, if you can see how he killed the Joes, that's pretty overpowered.
Squidman used some pause buffer stress just to make sure he gets over that small little gap easily, not take the unnecessary damage and get knocked into the pit. Not a bad idea. Always better to take it safe in some areas if you're not sure if you're going to clear a jump. So in the meanwhile, while we got Squidman about to face Metal Man in the air room, his final Robot Master should be a relatively quick fight.
Okay, he gets close and personal, just wants all those shots in. Oh, and those juicy flashings of the stage just look so cool.
So that should be 8 robos down for Squidman. 20 minutes into Wally stage, not a bad time, but as usual, it's Wally 1. We got a dragon to guess. So we're about to figure out our usual game. Guess the color of the dragon, and for extra credit, guess the weakness. So I guess you want me to start off first this time, Prodigy, so I still do so.
For sure.
So I'm gonna go with my patented and very rare monochrome dragon, but this time we're gonna go for quick weakness.
Okay, vanilla weakness then. If you have your monochrome, I think I got 3 blue eyes. I must think of something else. I don't know. Pink. Let's go for pink. And heat, because heat is supercharged.
MadMega utilizing the item 1 to do the basic crash zip, using the death warp and get to the midpoint, so good job for MadMega.
It seems that game overing heat was a really smart move, that he can also now do the death warp, which costs 1 life, of course.
Squidman making his descent up Wally 1, slowly traversing his way towards the Mecha Dragon, where we're about to see if any of our guesses gel out.
Okay, having some issues with that toothpaste. Oh, Metal Blade can take care of that. No problem. Good job, MadMega. Now, to utilize that item 3.
Hello, Joe.
Okay, no, please no. Just stay there and don't move. Thank you.
Squidman making the proper reactions and using Flash to make sure that the Joe Mech stays in its place. So, very, very good awareness by Squidman. Alright, let's see what color we got. We got a purple dragon.
Well, I tried.
Well, someone gets purple in the chat, but I'm pretty sure that top spin is not a weapon in this game. Well, that was a pathetic bubble.
Okay, that bubble was just a spit. And it's quick, it's... Oh, you guessed quick. Good job.
Hooray! I got something.
Meanwhile, MadMega finished his last Robot Master. That means 23 Robot Masters for him. He'll join Squid on the Whitey stages. Unfortunately, he's, I think, 3 minutes behind. That means that Squid basically has to make a mistake for this to equalize a bit.
So we don't have to check walls yet again, because just like in the first race, the walls are indeed Buster weak. So Squidman, if he has the appropriate amount of E-takes, can just bypass the whole fall. So we're just gonna see what action Squidman takes as MadMega begins his assault on Skull Fortress. Squidman using his energy to do his patented Wally 2 fill up.
Oh, he wants it. He wants it badly. Okay, let's get this. Safety first. Always use E-tanks when you need to.
MadMega having a little issue with the item 3 on the first long wall.
You see, I found item 3 really awkward to use in the randomizer. It wasn't that awkward in the vanilla game, but here it's just really awkward to use it in these first couple of block sections that you must go through. It's just the setups of the enemies doesn't allow you much usage of the item 3 there, so...
Yeah, I'd say the item 3 is just as awkward as it is in vanilla. I mean, I don't even know what causes the Item 3 to be fired up or fired down. It seems random, but we got some other randomizer stuff to talk about as Squidman fighting Pico Pico, not Weak the Buster, but it looks like a two-shot air. Yep, it's a two-shot air.
It seems as that this air is multiple projectiles. If you shoot them from the floor, they kind of become multiple. And I don't know how this works actually. If you can explain how air just traverses to the top of the screen and goes up and down again for some reason.
I think if you're talking about the air screen wrapping,
yeah.
I think it's just the fact that the air shooter goes so fast that it winds up having enough time to just wrap around the screen multiple times. So it's just air shooter speed that causes it.
Yeah, this is a single one that wraps around, it seems. But he switches to, I think he's preserving his air. That's really smart. And he switched to bubble to kill the last Picos there.
Yeah, I think that was a good idea. If you wish to stick to air, it would have been exact damage, as it would still take 2 shots of air per 1 Pico. So that definitely would have taken. Oh wow!
Oh wow! And I guessed right, and you guessed right for once. What are the chances? Wow!
He just annihilated the Mega Dragon, but the high usage of the Atomic Fire really put a damper on his weapon count for heat. So he's gonna probably have to take some time to recharge his heat energy. So just in case any other bosses are weak to it.
Yeah, but he didn't fish at all. That gave him a bit of bonus time. He can now refuel safely. Meanwhile, Squid just finished the first screen of Wily 3, which I think is the hardest one, to be honest. So it should be fairly easy from this point on.
The only reason the first few screens of Wily 3 can be tough is only because of the Fantasy Inquisition. If you see them in front of the spikes, it's hard to react. You're pretty much dead on the spikes.
I would hardly disagree, sir. You seem to forget drills. Drills, transparent drills are just so bad sometimes.
Well, we got vanilla weakness for Guts Tank. Squid Boomerang is pretty much making short work out of it. So Squidman is moving on to Wily 4. Getting back to Wily 3, yeah, I can give you the drills. One of the things about the drills is the fact that they actually can blend in with the background. You won't know where they're coming from. So, yeah, that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, sometimes. I've suffered from it, so I know from that. Anyway, Squid just takes a bit of time to refill that item 3, which will help him go through this section. I'm gonna assume he refills because he's gonna do this wraparound on the third screen, excuse me. That will skip the section.
I think so. I'm pretty sure you're gonna use the usual strategy and use item 2.
Okay. Okay, he forfeits the zip. It's a fairly juicy zip. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, Squidman usually doesn't go for these kinds of zips in tournament races, especially since he's mostly a glitchless runner, especially in Mega Man 1. He probably doesn't use a majority of the major zips, just being inclined to use some of the more natural means of transport. It still is able to make fairly good times though, so it's still nothing to sneeze at.
Meanwhile, both of the runners are in a bit of a trouble. Squid took damage, and because you take damage, you cannot grab that ladder immediately. So you drop down to the spikes and you have nothing to do. Meanwhile, MadMega was having trouble with the Pico fight, depleting all of his leaf shield ammo and finishing the fight with other weapons. I think he used air and bubble.
Squidman taking that area slow. Chanky Makers is probably becoming one of the more dangerous enemies in this particular area. I'm almost gonna assume that we're gonna have another set of 3 incoming in this next screen.
Yep. Okay. He has item 1.
Opted to try to use item 1, but the Chankies are not having it.
This is really dangerous, especially with the double knockback of the lag. This is just nail biting.
He managed to safely get through the spike moving platform section, not without taking quite a beating, but he's still on. Well, there's a life issue almost mitigated. But as I was saying, he's on his way to the boobing room. Like we said, yet again, the walls are weak to Buster, but we still gonna have to dig for the actual cannon weakness.
Exactly, and as expected, I think he will use metal and leaf, and I think metal it is. Yeah, it is. He uses item 1. He will bypass everything. So he will not kill a single wall because he actually can kill boobies vertically, and he does. Good job from him.
One of the major benefits of having a wood or metal weakness, and occasionally air, but air is kind of sketchy with his vertical movement. So it's usually just you really want to check metal and wood to try to bypass even need to destroy walls.
Exactly. And I think we forgot a bit about MadMega. I think I saw how he refilled a couple of his weapons during the start of Wily 3. He did a fairly good Wily and find the weakness very fast, so he dispatched the goods really good. So he's now going to Wily 4. Meanwhile, Squid, I think, is on his secondary fight, doing those bubble jumps.
Yeah, at this point it's probably gonna be Squidman's race to lose. He's pretty decently far ahead, so he needs a catastrophic error in order for MadMega to mess up. And what may just giving him yet another beating, but 3 energy tanks? Yeah, you gotta pop one of them in.
Okay. He has 2 more. I'm gonna assume he's gonna have no issues unless it happens.
I'm gonna say at the very least little issues, not necessarily no issues.
Yeah. And MadMega also taking the safety road though. Oh, he's gonna go for it. Okay, he got the spike wraparound. Good job from him. He even tries for the second wraparound. Oh, but he didn't have enough ammo.
Interesting decision using the Flash Stopper on Heat, man. Time Stopper is one of those really finicky weapons that you kind of want to avoid trying to use. It's only weak for one Robot Master. It's probably mostly used for utility, but even then it sees very little use.
Also, I don't know if you know this glitch. As soon as I see him shooting Clash Bomb at Heat, if you shoot Heat while he's dashing, you can make Heat invulnerable for even longer amount of time. So yeah, shooting Clash at Heat is also dangerous.
Honestly, I think that attribute is also randomized as well. There are some get random attributes, because let's say Flashman, for example. Flashman usually refills his health if you try to use Flash Stopper on him, then you can be sneaky. That attribute is actually randomized as well, so you gotta be careful what weapon you use, because it can actually be detrimental to specific fights.
Yeah, that only tells how cheeky this randomizer is. It can probably screw you over on so many occasions. And let's see this machine. It's the golden machine again.
Speaking of screwing things over...
Okay. This machine is immune. What?
Looks like we got ourselves a minor restream issue that just came back as I was talking.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
It looked like the quick boomerangs worked immediately for the first phase, but didn't work on the second. One of the major attributes of this Wily machine, especially if it's a Buster immune, is that it's weak to multiple weapons, but the weaknesses actually change between the first and second phases. What may work for the first phase might not work for the second, as Squidman found out with the quick boomerang.
And he finished it up with a clash, I think. Sadly, this clash was really slow, but it did the job really well. So unless Squid has any weapons to refill, I think he's, like Frico says, victory road. And I'm gonna assume he's not gonna risk it. As you say, he's the summoner, he's not risking with zips. The item is really good. No, he's not going for it. But still, Victory Road. Let's go.
Guess we're about to see what our alien weakness is going to be for this evening. Well, for the second race, at least. As much as we would like to do colors, it seems to just take... The stroll is so short, you really don't have much time to guess alien colors.
Yeah. Well, it's orange again. Okay. I'll take orange.
Well, we got a magenta head. So there's some variants.
Okay, not Metal and Clash, not Buster. Not here.
Completely ignoring heat right now.
No, nothing is working. Okay. Okay, quick is working.
So, bar no mistakes, it's gonna be pretty much Squidman's race. And indeed it is Squidman's race. Squidman beats MadMega in the second race with official SRL time of 36 minutes and 9 seconds. Putting yet again ourselves in a Mega Man 2-0 randomizer.
GG's to Squid, which will put him to play against, I think, Metalo. Well,
yeah, I have experience with that guy.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. Anyway, GG's to him. I think we should let him have fun with this victory and not remind him who he's gonna play. Meanwhile, MadMega is actually on refights. Pretty close to Squid. He's not actually that far, so I think we could agree he did really good races as well.
As we tried to get Squidman for an interview, our victor of the race, MadMega is doing pretty well on these robots. About to fight his Buster Immune Wally machine.
Oh, let's see how he fares with the machine. Different approaches, maybe? He's very low on, I think, Leaf. Yep. Okay, Bubble. Okay, pulse buffering. Nope. Okay, he's in trouble. He doesn't have E-tanks. He'll probably take a death here. Yeah, he's definitely taking a death here. Oh. Well, he already tried that machine, I think.
Well, in the meanwhile, we got Squidman on the set. GG Squidman for the race. How you feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good. They were mostly smooth races, so feeling pretty good.
Mostly?
Mostly. I think the Spike Room in Wily 4 hates me.
Yeah, those Chinky makers, they're kinda tough. I've faced them today 2 times on Buster only, so they were pretty tough. How do you feel about both of your seeds? Like, good sides and bad sides, of course.
They're both pretty good. I kind of disliked the item ones. The first one was static, so I couldn't really do much with it in terms of zipping. But the second one was a little bit better. I was able to get the crash zip off. But I knew that it was disappearing so fast that I wasn't going to be able to do metal zip, so I just passed that up immediately. And I attempted to use the static item one in the first race to get over the spike pit in Wily 4, and I ended up dying there just with a miscalculation. But the second time, I took a bunch of like damage from the change key makers, and it wouldn't let me grab the ladder on the way down, so I just fell straight into the spike pit.
Yeah, that happens if you get hit by while you're transitioning and you get hit. It's just awful. You cannot do anything.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, it just sucks when it happens. Meanwhile, both of the races were actually pretty close. The second probably was a bit off, but the first one was really close. So I'm really happy you did very close races with MadMega.
Yeah, I'll have to watch these back. I'm always glad to present a close race for Speed Gaming.
Mad Mega finding the Quid Boomerang weakness as he's about to defeat the alien. And there we go. That's done for Mad Mega. So we have Mad Mega finishing with an official SRL time of 40 minutes and 6 seconds. GG's to Mad Mega, but unfortunately that pretty much sends him right down to loser's bracket. There was a winners round 2 match. So Mad Mega's not finished, but he's gonna have to take a little bit of a longer route if he's gonna want to get to the grand finals.
Well, things happen, and meanwhile, I want to ask you, Squid, and I'm gonna ask Mad Mega as well. Do you have any particular order that you prefer? Or because I've seen you do the same order on the first and the second, and why do you think this is good? Why do you think this is bad? It just suits you, or?
Oh,
something?
I didn't do the same order the first and second.
I think. Oh, you switched a bit. I think you did air last. I think.
I did air last both seeds. That is correct, but I actually switched to the order in the middle, depending on what items I get.
Yeah, considering the items, of course. But what do you actually prefer in those orders? Do you follow a certain logic with items?
I like to do flash and quick first, no matter what, and then if I get no items from there, I'll probably go bubble or wood. I preferably wood. If I get some item, like maybe item 1 or item 2, then I can go maybe air or metal, because you can use item 2 to cut a lot of that stage out. But if I end up getting just like item 3, then I'm gonna go bubble wood and then hope for like items 1 and 2 on the way. If I don't get any item by the time only air and metal, or air and crash and heat are left, I'll probably end up going heat with item 3 and then doing the Yokus, because I just feel like I would rather have item 1 or 2 for like crash, air, or metal.
Oh, seems very logical, dude. Good job from you again. And I think, and I may be wrong, but I think we have Mad Mega here. So GG to you, Mad Mega. Even though you lost, you gave us 2 very close races. I would say I kind of put Squid on the line in the first race. How do you feel about your races?
The first race I feel pretty good about. The second one I made a lot of silly mistakes that cost me a good bit of time. I don't know that I would have beat Squid anyways, but I definitely gave up a minute or 2 there that I really don't think I should have. Just silly mistakes, deaths, like the death to Woodman in Flashman stage, a couple of those, and then the password snafu at the very beginning. I guess I hit the D-pad on my way as I was mashing start, I guess. That's like 25 seconds right there.
I did that against Kumba and I immediately just reset.
Yeah, in retrospect, that would have been a faster thing to do, but I just was like, what did I do here?
Yeah, password error happens sometimes. Oh well, congratulate you both. Does Creed want to bite you a bit about something? Creed, do you have anything in mind?
Well, right now, I think we're just going to look to the future. And I'm looking at the brackets right now. Right now, starting with you, Mad Mega. With this particular loss, you're not out of the tournament yet, but you are sent to loser's bracket. So you are about to face the Daggett in losers round 1. So first off, how do you think you feel about your chances?
I don't know. Like as I've said every time one of these comes up, my general feeling is that you know, if I'll play the best I can, and you know, if I have a good run, I'll feel good about it, regardless of how it turns out. I'm not with randomizers. For me, it's a bit down to luck. Is there's certain things that I know I'm not good at, and things that I could improve on that I'm working on. But you know, if I get a quite a few stages where I'm dealing with some fanboys, that's always going to be bad for me. So.
Yeah, not to mention that these Cs were actually surprisingly fan heavy, so I can understand probably some of the frustration that you probably went through having to deal with them.
I've definitely had worse seeds, but I can't really complain about the first race, especially. That was actually it was a race PB, and I think it was a PB overall too. So like just randomizer runs. So no complaints. It turned out okay. I would like to have won at least one of the races, but I was beaten pretty soundly. So I don't think that Any minor improvements on any side would have let me beat Squid. That's for sure.
Pretty much the little things that make things a little happier for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And as we finished, guys, I was kind of telling Creed, just let's not tell Squid he's gonna face Metalo. He probably knows by this moment, but I've rewatched both of the Metalo races. They're insane. What do you expect from your coming match?
Oh, I'm gonna lose.
Oh no! Come on! Come on!
Metalo's gonna kick my butt. I've been riding on luck this entire time, and this is where the luck ends and the skill begins. And Metalo is just gonna wipe the floor with me. He's much more skillful, but I won't be sad as long as I have a good clean run. If I have a clean run and lose, I'll be fine with it.
Well, I will point out that you did have at least one good victory on Metalo during the exhibition races before the actual tournament begins. So we know that it's possible that you can beat him, but I'm pretty sure you're thinking in your head it was mostly just the seed that's doing its work and pretty much keeping Metalo in bay.
Yeah, can you pick some seeds that are, gonna be advantageous?
Wow.
I don't know. I might be able to concoct something, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully between you and Metalo, y'all two are some of the best randomizer runners. Period. We're not gonna talk about who's higher level, who's at the lower level, and between the two of you, y'all are some of the greatest at randomizer runners I've seen. So I'm hoping that this quarterfinals race is gonna put one of the best showings.
It's the small final, as we say sometimes. It's gonna be a small final before the final, so it's gonna be a tough call. Who is gonna win? To be honest, maybe Squid feels he's not good enough, but I think it's a pretty close call.
If Stuff can win and I can win, then we have the Stuff Squid rematch. So
of course.
I really gotta try my hardest.
So another thing, I always ask this trivial question, just because there are always new guys in the chat, always somebody that's coming and asking about things. How do you feel about the randomizer, both of you? Good sides, bad sides, whatever you like to race or to play alone casually. What do you like about it?
I mean, I like it because I think Stuff and Things does the same thing. Every time you play it, it's like a puzzle. It's kind of the same reason why I like the Link to the Past rando too. Like every time you play it, it's like a different combination of weapons and a different combination of weaknesses and different combination of stages you have to go to, and you kind of have to just figure it out. So it's like a challenge every time, and it's like a new game every time. So it just makes it seem very fresh. So that's why I like it. Yeah.
How about you, MadMega?
I mean, for me, it's pretty similar, but I'm a big fan of the Mega Man 2, just standard speedrun Rockman 2, and for this, it's nice because it switches it up. Like you don't have the rote memorization and the rote you're not just like spitting back everything exactly the same every time. Like you have a plan going into it of what you're gonna do when you get certain items and when you have like X number of lives at a different stage, that sort of stuff. But it is a puzzle, like Squid said, and so you're using your speedrun skills that you have from like vanilla Mega Man, and you're playing that against a game that you don't know, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, thank you again for both of your answers. Thank you for the race, and thank you for anything. I won't nitpick your brains anymore, so unless Creed has something to ask, I suggest we go on a good note here.
Yeah, I think it's about time to wrap this up, but before we do, we're going to look into the Mega Man 2 tournament randomizer schedule right quick. There are a couple of races that are coming up very soon. We got one race coming up this upcoming Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern between Stuffing Things and MegaCal83. That's our first semifinal match. That's going to be, I'm expecting good things from this match. These are also two casual, well, not casual, these aren't casuals, but they're usuals in the weeklies, so I'm expecting a good tight race between these two. And then on the following Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, it's gonna be the organizer of this tournament, Charlie Boy, versus yours truly in a losers round 1 match. So one of us is gonna end up being eliminated in that match. So it's gonna be all on the line from here on out for those that are in the losers bracket. But those are 2 matches that are coming up very soon, in a couple of days, no less. So stay tuned for, keep your eye on the Speed Gaming channels. We don't know which channels they're going to be on right now, but we will know as time progresses. So, as I said, stay tuned.
You can say that again. No mistakes from here on out for anyone. So, thank you guys for watching, and thank you to the organizers, to Speed Gaming. Thanks to Creed for commentating me, and most importantly, the runners and Duckfist. Without the randomizer and without these runners, we won't have anything. So, thank you guys sincerely, and I think I should give you the chance to thank anybody you like.
Just thanks, Squid. Good race. It was a good time, and thanks to everybody that has organized this and let us play and let me into the tournament so that I could play. And just thanks all around, I guess. It's been a good time.
Yeah, it was a good race, and you got a PB too, so always good. Yeah,
definitely. Thank you. You too.
I get that just about wraps it up. So, like I said, follow the runners. If you feel like, follow us as commentators. I don't know why you would do so, but go ahead and do so anyway if you feel like it. Of course, special thanks to our tracker, Charlie Boy, who's also the organizer of this tournament, for keeping the tracker organized and keeping things easy to follow. And with this is for Prodigy. This is LV Creed. Wishing y'all a very good night. So later, everyone.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.